So, yeah, the more remu our parliament. Finally, a tribunal court. I just say Attorney General Emrebi. Yababi breaking wa ha ede mama or the copy mu our court or the copy mu our parliament. No, abusuya ene. Finally, ya pass a year tribunal court bill na abusuya say oba beshe a minority in parliament. Afenyo Markin sene nko for de say tribunal ne de pese ebeba so. Na Afenyo Markins behwe keke a okekam ni su a osu afide ekuwia ase ekura mpo no omo work out from a parliament and a majority nso kire se bill ne de omo ye den NPP minority chi omo kosoro eba from kura na omo be pass bill no enti no Afenyo Markins work out no omo work out no de enkosi aga enti no Attorney General ekokopie mu ewo parliament as isi ano tribunal court bill no ya pass ya enye asam keto akra no na ya project de ato ye screen no enchen de amamo no say parliament passes tribunals bill to establish regional and district tribunals, giving them power to handle mining, tax, customs, economic loss and fraud cases. It's no NPP for na omonim say omo abokro no former appointees no abusuya omo de omo se lie omo nti ase bet ekoko wie peye NPP NDC majority a pass bill na right now no tribunal court system no ebe ye adwuma gidigidi a cases e wo court no eba abekoko contentem abusuya yensem mremo yenko na yenko nkoti ensem court na ansa na ebeko no Ghana ha say open computer papa and a laptop papa na where use ya Buria Periodic computers and accessories ho and I'll be laptop papa na where using the location and ya kwan o Kumasi Bookroom Estate Eli free number na ego ye screen no ase no na HS Periodic there ho and I'll be laptop papa no use yembonra yensem ya buy the akabeto amso.
Coming up next on Ghana Tonight, we're going straight to Parliament because tensions flared earlier today in Parliament as majority and minority clash over the tribunal bill, which is being considered as we speak. The flared passions and tempests earlier today is what indeed got many asking questions about exactly what the minority is raising questions about and what the explanation has been from the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Dr. Dominic Ayine. Let's cross over to Parliament now. The 28th sitting of the second meeting of the second session of Parliament is still underway. In fact, Parliament is still in session as we speak. What you're seeing right now, these are live videos from Parliament right now. I see Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa there, Foreign Affairs Minister, the North Tongue Member of Parliament, and then also some of the, that's their Shaman MP, Dr. Norbert there. Also, you have some other members of the majority. There's some discussion, and this has been much on the Tribunals bill, which is under consideration right now. The minority side is seated. We want to cross over now to hear exactly what's happening on the floor of Parliament right now. Of some standoff as we speak. The Finance Minister, Dr. Kasiel Atofosing, as well, is there on the floor of Parliament as we speak. It's some 13 minutes after 10 p.m. and Parliament is still in session. As we do know, the Finance Minister, all things being equal, exactly a week away from today, will be in Parliament to present the media budget review. But let's take a listen to what's happening in Parliament right now. The First Deputy Speaker, Bernard Ahiafo, is presiding over the business of the House.
Declaration of the results. The total votes, or let's say those who voted aye, after counting, they numbered 16. those who voted aye, who were up to be counted, is 134. Honourable members, by the Supreme Court decision in the case of Justice Abdullahi versus Attorney General, when the person presiding is a deputy speaker, he is entitled to vote. Accordingly, I am also voting aye. So the votes, I'm also voting no. I am voting no. So the votes, the total vote for the no is 135. The speaker is added. Now, the total vote cast. Honourable members, the total vote cast is 151. And total vote of 151 satisfy the constitutional requirement in Article 104. Therefore, Clause 4 is ordered to stand part of the bill. Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we have done our own counting of the majority members. Mr. Speaker, they are 113. But, Mr. Speaker, in the interest of democracy, we haven't registered our protest. Okay. Mr. Speaker, since the majority leader has indicated that they will not listen to the views expressed, including that of organized labor, Mr. Speaker, we are leaving them. Debbie. I take responsibility. Let's go. There's no point. Mr. Speaker, the majority leader has let the cat out of the bag. He says that the door is shut. It is not only the minority that is raising issues against this bill, but organized labor has also done so. If he says they want to go ahead, Mr. Speaker, if he says they want to go ahead, and Mr. Speaker, when the majority leader speaks with all his authority, he says, today, he says he will pass. Mr. Speaker, the Constitutional Review Committee has spoken against this bill. They said they will do what they want to do. Mr. Speaker, we are Democrats. We are not going to be part of this Rambo style of, Mr. Speaker, destroying the judiciary. They started by sacking the Chief Justice. After sacking the Chief Justice, they also allowed contingency fund account to be garnished. Now they want tribunal to be made up of non-lawyers, non-judges, to prosecute people. Mr. Speaker, they should do what they want to do.
On point of relevance, you are being out of order.
So what you're just saying is the minority has just walked out of Parliament because of this development regarding a head count on whether or not the Section 4 of the Tribunals bill should be removed from the bill. Well, per the head count, those who voted that no, it should remain 135, including the First Deputy Speaker presiding over the business of the House. You heard that. And so that is what the minority leader, Addo Markin, has been lamenting about, and marshalling his troops to walk out of Parliament. So this is what is happening right now. What you're watching is a live videos from the floor of Parliament right now. This is what is happening in Parliament as we speak. The minority has just walked out of Parliament. It's just after 10 p.m. What has kept them in Parliament all this while is the Tribunal bill, which is being considered. Let's cross over again. Let's take a listen to the First Deputy Speaker. Take a look.
Taken away from him. I'm therefore exercising my vote to support the no, making the no 135. The total number of vote cast is 151. Honorable members, the Supreme Court's decision in the case of Justice Abdullahi versus Attorney General is now part of our Standing Order 1525. And I read, where a Deputy Speaker or a member is presiding, the Deputy Speaker or a member shall communicate his personal votes to the clerk at the table to be added to the collated results before the results of the vote are declared. So the decision of the court is captured by our own standing order. So the total vote for today is 151. Honourable members, can we make progress? Clause 5. Chairman of the committee.
Mr. Speaker, we had already taken clause 5, but let me just go over it. Amendment proposed, head note, delete tribunals and insert.
We have taken a vote on the 5 before he brought us back to 4. So we now move to clause 6.
6, yes. Mr. Speaker, rightly so.
So you may move clause 6.
Relationship between tribunals and the judicial system.
Well, it's going to be a long night for members of Parliament present on the floor as we speak. So what's just happened? The minority has just walked out of Parliament because of what just happened with the head count that determined whether or not the Section 4 of the Tribunal Bill should be retained. For those who voted that yes, it should be retained, 135 of them, including the First Deputy Speaker. We're crossing over back to Parliament because at the foyer, the minority who just walked out, they are addressing a press conference as we speak. Christian Yale is there for us. Let's hear what the minority is saying.
Consideration of this so-called Tribunal Bill. Our contention as minority is that this bill seeks to create a parallel system, an analogous system, unbeknown to the Constitution, if we read all provisions of the Constitution as a whole. It is true that mention is made tribunal system in our Constitution, but context must be interpreted within the broader scope of Articles 125, 126, and 127. We have a judiciary system. District courts, circuit courts, high courts, court of appeal, and the Supreme Court. If there are issues with the system, the way to go is to reform and to resource, equip, and retool. It is not to create a parallel system with coordinate jurisdiction. Now, if you look critically at the clause 4, which was the subject matter of this long debate, basically, you look at a new court system, a new, I don't want to call it a court system, a new adjudicatory body, where you say one person presiding as the chair must be a lawyer, but the other two must be non-lawyers. And they are going to preside on criminal matters. We reminded Dr. Ayeni himself, the Attorney General, that when he was in practice as a private practitioner, and he dealt with this case of Tagore and Issa Abbas, the Republic versus Tagore and Issa Abbas, he argued forcefully that a judge sitting in a criminal trial must ensure that prosecution lead evidence of probative value proves all essential ingredients of the offense. That was his argument at the Court of Appeal, which was upheld. That to deliver justice is not about chobe or media headline screen. It's not about how the public perception about an individual is, because that can be misleading. Now, what we see in this whole exercise is to create a system where people would be pronounced guilty even before their case is properly determined. No established procedure of ensuring fairness. And it is not only the minority that is complaining. Today, organized labor has come out loudly to re-echo its position on this matter. That we don't need a tribunal system in our country anymore. Tribunal system, we know what happened in the PNDC era, where people were targeted, assets were seized, and those people who claimed they were tribunal members and rid themselves. We know that record of the NDC, their predecessor, PNDC. So we, the minority, have left the chamber because the majority leader decided to shut the door. In Parliament, we believe that in all situations of disagreement, there must be a window to discuss, to raise the concerns. But once the majority leader makes a strong pronouncement that whatever the case, they will not listen, they will use their numbers to pass the bill, then there is no point again. Every other effort will be rendered odious. Every other effort by us will be rendered nugatory. You recall that earlier in the day, when we raised this issue, the majority leader, realizing that he didn't have the numbers, immediately called for suspension of the House. So he used the 5 hours to marshal his members into the chamber. Even so, those present were not even up to 150. They were 113. We, the minority, counted. They were not up to. Yet, those who counted claim that the NDC members were more than that. You are the media. You can get in and do your own check to validate what we are saying. We tell you truth. We will not say anything outside of the truth. So it is clear that the Yentio Bia syndrome has set in. They don't want to listen to anybody. And this is for say, Omuntio Bia. Omutisa Choboy, Sesebi, Asem tu obi, no mu kobo obi kwedua. Omwasi so mo party member say, omunko dinase. Omunko sizin krofo eja pade, edin krofo kotu efiase. Omun endi omasem yi. Yen na yen him say your court system no order. Ghana no your district courts, your circuit courts.
Well, so that's Alexander Afenyo Markin there, the minority leader, a photo member of parliament, addressing the press as we speak, outlining the reasons why they just walked out from the chamber of parliament because of the disagreement with that particular section of the Tribunals bill under consideration in Parliament as we speak. Parliament is still in session because of this Tribunals bill. It's generated some, conversation since morning when this entire process started, with now the minority walking out of Parliament. Martin Pebu is private legal practitioner. He's been watching and listening to what's been happening in Parliament as we speak, with the minority walking out because of that particular provision, that portion of the Tribunals bill under consideration as we speak, that it will be constituted by 2 lawyers and 2 non-lawyers. The contention of the minority is that the non-lawyers cannot and should not be presiding over criminal matters because they do not have the privilege of learning the law and, as it were, determining criminal cases without, the legal considerations thereof. But the majority, in fact, the Attorney General, Minister of Justice, he is actually still in Parliament. The Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayine, is still in Parliament as we speak, together with the Finance Minister, Dr. Kasila Tufosi, Majority Leader, as well, Mama Yarega, and the members of Parliament on the majority side. And the business of the House is continuing without the minority. So Parliament is still in session. They're still going through the process of consideration of the Tribunals bill without the minority present. Let's hear from Martin Pebu right now. But before we do so, let's recall what Dr. Dominic Ayine said when the minority first raised this matter of some concerns of the content and detail of this Tribunal bill earlier today in Parliament. Take a look.
These things are textually incorrect as far as the Constitution is concerned, because as you yourself drew his attention to the provision in Article 126 of the Constitution and 142, but let's start with 126. It provides an integrated judicial system that includes regional tribunals. And that also includes such lower courts or tribunals as Parliament may by law establish. And Mr. Speaker, this is exactly what we are doing. In terms of the regional tribunals, what we are doing is just simply amplifying the provisions of the Constitution in 126 and 124. In terms of the district tribunal, what we are simply doing is implementing 126 by creating a lower tribunal that will deal with criminal matters that have been specified in the bill, including those of illegal mining. So, Mr. Speaker, we are not creating a parallel justice system. We are simply amplifying what is provided for in the Constitution.
Is it going to be in charge of civil matters or criminal matters? Mr. Speaker, I am asking rhetorically. Respected Leonard, you must listen to me. You have your opportunity to have a bite. This is unfair. Respected Leonard Attorney General, first gentleman at the bar. This approach is wrong. This is wrong. You have your bite.
Honorable
You have a
Minority Leader.
bite in the mic.
Honorable
There's no
Minority
point
Leader,
of order. Mr. Speaker,
Honorable
let him
Minority
sit down.
Leader,
It's wrong.
Honorable Attorney General,
And I'm
please,
your senior in this
both of
chamber.
you should resume your seats.
I'm your senior.
Honorable,
I agree, but I'm your senior here. And I'm your senior here.
both of
And
you
I'm your
should
senior here.
resume
But you are
your seats.
introducing chaos. That is what the tribunal will do. What you are doing is what the tribunal will do. They should let us speak.
Both of you resume your seats.
The tribunal system. This is the tribunal system. This is the tribunal
Honorable
system.
Minority Leader,
Tribunal
Attorney
system.
General, both
Populism.
of you should resume your
Tribunal
seats.
system of justice. Tribunal system of justice. That's what you are practicing.
Well, so what you just watched is what preceded what we've just been showing you happening live on the floor of Parliament, culminating into the minority walking out as we speak. So what's happening in Parliament right now, as Parliament is still sitting, it's just the majority MPs that are going through the process of consideration of the Tribunals Bill 2026. This is the section that has caused all of this, disagreement that's led to the minority walking out. And it is this same section that led to the head count. There was actually a voice vote. And the minority said, look, they are not convinced about the voice vote, so they asked for a head count. The head count is what led to the majority now represented by 135, including the first deputy speaker, who also had a vote as a result of the case that Justice Abdullahi tested at the Supreme Court, whether or not a presiding deputy speaker has a vote when it comes to the business of the House. So, yes, Bernard Ahiafo did vote that this section must stay. That's what led to it. And you heard Markin indicate they counted the NDC MPs in Parliament. They were not up to 135. But then again, well, the result of the head count is that NDC MPs, or the majority side, 135. This is it. In furtherance of Clause 2 of Article 125, Clause 1 of Article 126, and Article 142 of the Constitution, there is established by this Act the tribunal system, which consists of a regional tribunal and a district tribunal. 2, subject to the Constitution, this Act. And
so, abusia tribunal a court system no ena yede ehonsem ebrema enye asam keto akra. Nti Afenyo Markins ena muhu se o kekekema enye asam keto akra. Ye bedamase samoje pene kokotiza ensem we edema aha. Gossip Politics TV so.